Oh. 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 Wait, what? What? Oh. What? Oh. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. Genuine ostrich. 3 payments. Oh. Oh. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. Genuine ostrich. 3 payments. Oh. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. Genuine ostrich. 3 payments. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. Genuine ostrich. 3 payments. Oh. 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 I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. Genuine ostrich. 3 payments. Oh.
It's a drawing of a dick and it tells me to fuck off.
Millhip is something new for the internet with Harry Powers Live and the Ultimate Tournament every Sunday night at 8 p.m.
I'll use the man bulge.
You take the toe and it's over.
The half Nelson was encoded in the first version of the Bible.
And a mystery live show any given day of the week featuring interactive RPG game shows and nonsensical comedy with new uploaded content nearly every day. Join Millhip today. Visit millhip.rocks or youtube.com/millhip.
Do you like your novelty comedy songs organic? Handmade with painstaking care, put into every note? Well, look no further than Irrational Times. Using only the finest instruments to create an experience that your ears will thank you for later, Irrational Times attempts to elevate the whimsy to a desirable level. New songs and sketches every week, so check it out.
I love my girlfriend. I'm totally fine with dudes jacking off to pictures of her on the internet. If you are upset by me admitting this, listen the fuck up. I love my girl so fucking bad. I let her squeeze her tits for 50 cents. I don't get mad. I just have some issue. She has problems with her dad. So I grab the box of tissue, say, hello there, Mr. And oh man, I'm totally familiar with masturbation from dudes who are fascinated by cam whores living with a cancer patient. The shit's pretty basic. You just gotta fucking embrace it and be the man of the house. For example, listen to this shit I'm facing. No more kissing without first asking for permission. Ian, get yo bitch ass in that kitchen. Ian, listen, Ian. She's always on OnlyFans, so I bought a gold subscription so I can see how much of her pussy, tits, and ass I'm missing. Oh my gosh, I love my girl so fucking bad. But why she spread her legs and take this dick inside of her bed? What the fuck? You know what? I've seen enough of that crap. Time to file a DMCA. Hey, just call me mundane mad. Huh? Damn, bitch. Look at all of this damage. OnlyFans, bitch. Catch my bitch on Only fucking fans. Drop your pants, bitch. Scoop your dick inside your fucking hands. Quick, eye cups gives not a shit. You nut over his stupid bitch. OnlyFans, hit the switch. Grab your wallet. Click, click, click. Get the camera. Click, click, click. Out come the dick pics. I respect the tricks. Love my bitch. Much respect. All she's doing is showing her tits, so dudes out there can lick your smartphone, lick your laptop, lick your fingers. Yeah, it figures that she licks this nigger's black cock. Ian, ain't you meant to be some kind of cop? Cause from what I'm seeing, you ain't protecting fucking jack squat. So for the next content cop, my girl kiss inside of a cup, and I'll drink it up like a good little cop. Yummy, delicious, mommy. I love my bitch, but she's gotta earn her own fucking money. Yeah, I'll give you a kiss. Mwah. Now take everything from me, being a pathetic. It's not easy, but as long as she's charging me for that puss, my girl will never leave me. Think I'm lying? Don't believe me? Not sure she enjoys being with a fucking half-blind, bald-headed faggot in a beanie. Yes, I could probably learn a thing or two from leafy fag, like when it's time to fuck off permanently, cause all I do is repeat. If you got a weak shin, get the fuck out of that ring. I'll leave the bitch everything. Go to the store and buy a ring. God damn, bitch, look at all of this damage. OnlyFans, bitch. Catch my bitch on Only fucking fans. Drop your pants, bitch. Scoop your dick inside your fucking hands. Quick, eye cups gives not a shit. You nut over his stupid bitch. OnlyFans, hit the switch. Grab your wallet. Click, click, click. Get the camera. Click, click, click. Out come the dick pics. I respect the tricks. Pay the price. Respect. All she does is show her tits, so dudes out there can jizz. And I don't mind. Because, quite frankly, I'm a fucking degenerate piece of shit. I don't care. Fuck it.
Ian, I-dub, you are beta. What? You beyond yourself.
Damn camera. I just turned the damn camera on. I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on. I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on. I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on. I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on.
What is up? What's up, guys? So, we will be joined by Joy Pesi and Ryan Long shortly, but I gotta bring in the normal. Gotta keep the normal going. Here you go, guys.
I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on. I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on. I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on. I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on. I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on. I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on. I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on. I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on. I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on. I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on. I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on. I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on. I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on. I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on. I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on.
I can't. So good. So good. let's bring that down. What's going on, everyone? As many of you know, we are going to be joined by Ryan Long and Joy Pesi and Major Tom shortly. But yeah, so the show's going to be slightly different. Probably won't watch many videos in that way. Got some shit lined up to talk about with the boys and see where we're going with the show. There's just conversational. I got to get some shit lined up once they get in the room, and then we'll see how this goes. Fucked with Discord a little bit. I think I fixed my notifications. What's up, Daryl? What's up, Hi Chris? Bug Eaters, Reefer.
I said no damn plan.
What up, Evil?
You got a plan? You got a little plan? Oh, you're gonna do it just like this? Step one, little note here, a thing there, then you're gonna put them all together, then you're making music.
Fuck your motherfucking plan. I don't need a plan. I don't need a damn plan. I don't need a plan, bitch. I don't need a damn plan. You got a plan? Well, I don't got a plan. So let's run away together, baby, the unknown. I said...
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with AP last night. He's a very entertaining motherfucker. He's a great guy. I really love the guy. What up, everyone from Nightwave joining in. Thank you, Hidden Hand, for coming over. So yeah, we were. What up, Joseph Diaz? We were talking over after the show, me and AP, and he said that he'd be down to do a monthly or a weekly show, and so I'm going to talk to him. We're going to get some shit worked out and see about... Joy was having a smoke. See about doing a show together, me and AP, because we do bounce off of each other well. You know what I would love to get, but they have so much shit going on. I would love to get him, Royce, and me to do a consistent show together, because that'd be a lot of fun. I like what Royce and them play off of each other. Very AP and AG. There we go. Yeah, because you know, it'll throw a little mix up for him. It'll throw a little mix up for me. It'd be a lot of fun to do. For those of you who weren't here last night, I was gonna play that, but we'll play that later. Let me pop this up. If you didn't catch last night, oh, we're talking about fucking Dirty JR. I was gonna play that for you guys. There was a little bit of a throwdown last night between AP and there's someone who wants to join the call. Let me get this person in real quick.
Are you ambushing me, AG?
Oh, I gotta add you to my friends list. Can you add me to your friends list so I can bring this person on?
Is it somebody that I'm gonna fucking not want to talk to? What the fuck?
No.
All right,
Somebody...
yeah, then I'll add you to the friends list.
Oh, I would never. No, I would never intentionally ambush you. This is kind of an ambush, but it's not anything negative. Is that okay?
That's cool. No, it would be okay if it was negative. Fun and games, AG. Fun and games, sir.
Oh, their showdown's tomorrow, but they cut a massive promo on each other yesterday.
It's failure, isn't it? Only failure would be this inept. It's got to be failure.
It might be failure. I just want to surprise you with this person.
No, it's not surprising. As soon as the motherfucker started fucking up and bumbling and stumbling and shit, I knew it had to be failure accomplished. Hey, failure. How you doing there, buddy? Oh, you're half right there. You're half right.
Is that what this is, dude? You fucking want some of this? But Friday, dude, you're going down.
Get it all out, Royce Lopez. You got jealous eyes. Jealous eyes for Miss Bliss. Let me tell you something, Royce Lopez. When I see you Friday beat down, I'm gonna tell you this now, and I'll tell you this Friday, Royce. The sauce you can have. You will have all the sauce. But the secret, she's a mine.
Listen here, brother. I've been watching the college years.
What's up, guys? So I'm just playing for the people the promo that Royce and AP cut on each other last night. Joy of Pesi and Major Tom joining the show. What's good, guys?
Not much, homie. What's up?
Oh, you sound. Oh, Major Tom sounds a little happier to be here. Joy sounds sad. You're not very joyful.
I'm good. I'm good. It's just end of the day, winding down, nice and relaxed.
Yeah, you're not used to having to be up late on a Thursday night, right?
I know, right?
Mr. Friday Saturday show over here, staying up late on the weekends like a fucking real adult.
It's my bedtime.
Pesi's just blazed out of his mind right now. He's ready to just the rest of the day just relax.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I appreciate both you coming on. I know you got some work to do tomorrow in the early days because you're essential, Tom.
Of course. The old essential employee gimmick.
Well, I mean, you technically are. My broke ass. Not broke. My poor ass. Not poor. Damn. Poor choice of words. My sad ass is not essential.
Man, just beating yourself up over it.
What's good, fellas? How was your day?
Oh, good, man. Just kind of did shit around the house. You know, did some groceries. You know, usual shit. I was essential, but then they decided I wasn't. So now I gotta fill my time. It fucking sucks. But what
Everybody's essential until they aren't.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see. California's supposedly starting to open back up. Everyone was yelling at me to turn you guys up, so I turned you way up. If it blows out, Ryan can't figure out how to join. Jump in the waiting room on the Discord I linked you, buddy. Ryan's like the youngest boomer I know.
That's a nice way to put it.
It's not even that. He's pretty with it. It's Discord specifically. Every time I turn someone onto Discord for the first time, it's just like, oh god, what do I do? Hey, there you
go. What's up, Ryan? How are you, buddy? Oh.
Give him a sec.
Hold on.
There we go.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me. Okay, I thought for a second there I was getting echo.
Oh no, you're good. If anything, I'm sorry about this having to do Discord. I still haven't set up Skype for this shit yet. If
you keep talking, I'm gonna.
If you do have an issue, Pesi is pro at Discord, I heard.
Oh man, I mean he's sounding good. You sound good, man.
No, you guys are just coming through my computer speakers and not my headphones, which is weird.
Oh, so you gotta if you want to do that, you can just the little gear next to your name at the bottom of that. If you click on that, you can go to your voice and video options, and where it says like I think it's output, you can pick specifically your headphones. And then
yeah, that's what you gotta do.
See, and I even took the time today because I had issues with the AP stream, and figured out how to get Discord to display on my computer.
Nice.
Just for you, Ryan, and because I know you like being on
check in. Oh, okay, boys.
Oh, hold on. You got a lady walking around the house? Oh, he didn't.
He's an absolute chat. Of course, he's always got ladies walking around.
Uh oh. Girls in the chat. You're gonna be sad. And to fucking move around my my OBS here to fucking get this shit.
Testing.
Ryan, the audience wants to know. He can't hear. Oh, he's deafened now. Jesus. I'm trying to figure out my OBS layup. I wasn't prepped for this. I'm trying not to block him by chat. There we go. That works.
He's deafened. Hold on. Oh, no, he's back. He's back.
Oh, got him.
Back. Ryan. Ryan.
I thought we got this figured out with your show, Pesci.
He.
Oh, it wasn't a big break for sure. It was expected to just have a conversation.
Welcome back to Tech Support with AG Luck.
Yeah. So while Ryan figures this out, Joy, I know you know Ryan. How'd you guys? I know you're both Canadian, right?
Yeah. So it's actually kind of funny. It's funny. I used to be a fan of the band he was in, way back when I was in high school. And then years later, when I was doing comedy for a little while, I just added a bunch of comedians to Facebook, and then years later, kind of came back to just kind of like see some people that I haven't seen in a while, and then I bumped into him, and then just kept talking, and I got into his podcast, and yeah, kind of went from there.
Tell me if you can hear me.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Guys, we're here. We did it.
We did it, Reddit.
Yeah, I was saying, but you couldn't hear me. I was like, dang, Ryan's got a random chick walking around in his background. It must be a nice life.
Yeah, I couldn't. But when I did, whatever. I'll tell you the technical part after, but it's driving me fucking crazy. But yes, that is true. I do have that also.
You're gonna make all the lady fans sad, man. All the girls who want your big blue eyes in their life. Now they're gonna tune out.
All the toxic male streams, female fan base.
That's the old stream before I got brought into the Wave family. Apparently.
Oh, my bad. Well then, what's up, ladies?
Yeah, ladies, you're in luck. That's just Thursday, but you still got the rest of the week open. All the other.
Boys Cast with Ryan Long.
So Joy was telling us how he got into your shit. Being that you're both Canadian, do you feel a little disappointed that he hasn't left the great country yet?
No, we're full here in America, actually. So,
Joy,
I second that sense.
And you need people here to keep tabs, like on all the hot goss.
Yeah, dude, he's holding it down in the city. We have some other friends that he knows, JJ Lieberman, and he got a visa and he was supposed to come here 8 months ago, and he still hasn't moved, and then COVID stuff. So he just literally spent $10,000 on a visa and hasn't moved. So,
holy shit, a visa costs that much?
Yeah, well, a lot of it's your lawyer, but like all in, like it's about that much. Yeah, I have green card, which is even more. Ball in.
Oh, so you're almost a citizen. You're like
so close.
You're like a frozen Mexican.
Yeah, so fucking close.
Are you gonna go for full citizenship, or are you gonna dual citizenship?
Yeah, you just gotta wait 5 years.
Oh, okay. So you gotta be productive and make sure the comedy stuff works for 5 years.
No, you don't have to do anything. It's just literally 5 years, and then you go in and there's a test that, when you do your like written driver's test, and it's like, what does a red light mean? They basically go in and they're like, how many states do we have? Ask a few like basic questions, and then they give you your citizenship.
Huh. Dude, why is it so easy for you guys to get in, like, with those kind of quizzes? And for us,
that's once you have a green card. No, it's not. Getting a green card is almost impossible. But once you have it, the step from basically once you've been here, if you're a permanent resident, then once you've been a permanent resident for a certain amount of time, getting a citizenship's not hard, as long as you've haven't like committed a bunch of crimes and stuff. So maybe that's what to answer your last question.
So go ahead, Joy.
Ryan lucked out. Like, it's very difficult, but Ryan lucked out because every government agent he had to deal with in the process was female. So he just banged his way through, and he got in.
I thought they were female, but you can't tell anymore. Halfway through, I'm like, oh, all right, okay. Got me. Do I still get my green card? No, this guy doesn't even work here. Fuck. You're not even in a government office, dude. This is a Burger King.
Behind the KFC.
It's so easy to confuse those McDonald's with actual embassies, though, so I can't blame.
Yeah, we've all been there. That's a classic mistake.
Jesus Christ. So I know you've been doing a lot of skits and stuff to, as your bit, but are you missing actual stand-up?
Yeah, dude, it fucking sucks. I moved to America to do stand-up comedy, and then they shut down New York and shut down stand-up comedy. Woo! Living the dream. The immigrant dream. Yeah, dude, it's fucking whack. So I don't know. If they open up stand-up in like Austin or one of those red states, I'm fucking taking off. I'm gonna go move there. That's what my plan is. I don't know. We'll see.
California's supposedly opening up, but that's probably not. That probably won't be until the end of the year when
Yeah, but
comedy opens.
stand-ups are resilient. Like if they open up, restaurants at 30% capacity, there's going to be comedy shows in the downstairs of every fucking like pickle barrel before you can blink.
There's one state that's never closed, but it's a weird one. I think it's like Wyoming. So if you want to get on that Wyoming circuit where the big stand-up names go, you could.
South Dakota.
I'd consider as long as it's like a somewhat of a major city. If I could get in with the club there, where I could do at least like 10 spots a week, I would consider that. Yeah.
So you would actually move to like bumfuck nowhere just to be able to perform again?
That's why I moved here.
Yeah, but that's not bumfuck nowhere. You're in, where are you? Brooklyn or somewhere in New York?
I'm in Manhattan.
Oh, okay. So you're not as hipster as you seem.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm a fucking. I'll tell you what, if I was a little younger, I might have lived in Brooklyn, but I'm an adult man. No, I moved. I do all the cool comedy clubs are in Manhattan. Brooklyn's for like the fucking dork shit.
Yeah,
So
but I heard it's growing, and that's where all the kids who are not able to stand or handle comedy are, and you really want to perform for them.
Yeah, that's where you want to be. I've actually done some of those shows. It's as crazy as you'd think. Like when people talk about a caricature of like, oh, as if like Brooklyn woke comics, and you go there, you're like, oh shit, that was pretty bang on.
Jesus Christ! Since you've played shows there, have you been heckled for anything edgy you've said or anything like that, or
No,
never?
No, heckled.
No,
I mean,
well, not heckled, but like the shit people get when they say something
That
edgy
sounds
in
like
those
it.
towns.
that sounds like a question that your like uncle asks you at a family reunion.
Hey,
Have they ever like? But aren't you afraid you're gonna get heckled?
no, fuck you. No, I mean, man, fuck this. This is over now. Oh,
No, they ask Pesi what happens to the. I wish a motherfucker would heckle the kid. He's gonna. You're opening up a can of worms that you don't want anything to do with, brother.
Yeah, I mean, like you guys see his videos, right? Like, boys, quick. No, I think in New York, what I've noticed with the comedy scene, at least, is as long as you're funny, it doesn't really matter how offensive you get. Usually, they're good. It's a good crowd.
All the comedy
but
clubs are in
Brooklyn
Manhattan.
sucks.
Yeah. Brooklyn's the like shows, where I'll tell you what it is at Brooklyn. You go to like a pizza shop and there's a comedy show there, and they're like everyone's famous. It'll be like this guy was the head writer for fucking Jimmy Kimmel, and this guy's the Trevor Noah's like whatever fucking head director, and then they all suck at comedy. And they one after another go up and just like do hack shit. And like I was on the bus and someone said something racist and I was like, yo bro, that's not cool. Applause break. Except it's actually not applause break. They actually like are not doing that well.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I've always been into comedy, like watching it and whatnot, but I don't know. It takes a little too much to put yourself in front of an audience like that and try to be funny,
You know what? Everything sucks at first until working out everything sucks, but once it's part of your life and that's you just don't think about it anymore. You're like, all right, well, I mean, I would say the same thing. Like, man, fucking streaming 5 times a week, that seems hectic, but you're just like, I don't know, and it's just what you do,
Yeah.
But yeah, comedy sucks. Comedy is the thing stand-up comedy is the thing that sucks the most to start. I'll give you that. That's probably the best way to describe it. Stand-up comedy sucks to start because like the learning curve to be competent is pretty high.
Yeah, and then the fact that Joy said you came out of a band originally. and then started doing comedy. So how long have you been doing actual comedy now?
10 years stand up.
Oh, okay. So you've been doing it for quite a while.
And video stuff for like, almost 20 years, but stand up for 10 years.
So what happened with the band?
I don't want to talk about it, dude. No, I'm just Pesi, did my publicist not tell you guys that we weren't allowed to talk about this?
Hold on. Do you actually have a publicist? They didn't contact me if that's the case. They're not doing their job right.
I'll tell you, if my publicist, if I had a publicist right now, I think the first matter of business, they'd be like, no more fucking dark web streams, okay?
No more T live streams. Don't do it again.
They'd be like, those ROTC guys, yeah, you're gonna have to cut ties.
I actually had them on my, I had them on my podcast that's coming out Friday, actually.
Yeah, why do you guys all record and then wait forever to let us watch it?
I just put them out every Friday, and then I usually I record it Thursday, and then film it that night, and then upload it so it'll stream in the morning. But they just asked if they could do it a day earlier, so it was simple as that. Nothing too crazy. I always just do it Thursday. But the band was like we were pretty successful, and then I got a TV show kind of from the success of the band. And when I was doing the TV show and stuff like that, I started doing stand up, and then eventually it kind of like that became the main thing, and I started doing less and less band. And also like the band's a young man's game, and fucking music's over. Like that whole band thing is done.
Yeah, but you're not old. You're in your 30s, right?
There's an old like Hollywood thing that they say, never sign anyone that's over 25. Like in music, like 25 is pretty old, kind of. Think about every band. Like their biggest album was when they were like 27.
Yeah, and that's when most of them kill themselves.
Yeah, exactly, right. But it's also, things come in waves, right? Like we were kind of at the forefront of this movement that was in Canada that was pretty popular. And then we had like a good run, but it's not like, I don't know. Are any of your favorite bands from when you were young, like still crushing out albums that anyone gives a shit about?
No, I mean, not really. I mean, I was going to make a Pearl Jam joke for Cousin Joe, but, no, not really.
Yeah, exactly, right? So it's one of those. We could still tour. Like if we toured right now, we could still do numbers, but I mean, it would be like a nostalgia tour,
So it'd just be for the money.
Yeah, or the fun, or to get the gang back together for one last hurrah.
So you guys didn't go out in bad terms, and like you didn't sleep with like the drummer's wife or something?
No, they're all still like my close friends.
So Joy, have you seen him live? Is he any good at what he used to do?
What? Wait, are we talking?
Put him on the spot like that.
Have I seen him live?
Yeah, his band.
Music.
Yeah, his band.
Yeah. So yeah, again, like it was a long. Like I'm 30, and this was in high school. I saw them. I've told Ryan this already, but I saw them open for a ska band called Mustard Plug. I was given the tickets as a birthday gift, so we went, and it was fucking awesome. But yeah, no, they were great. I mean, if you're into ska music, their band is fucking pretty good. Like I liked it. So I mean, what else? What else is there to say?
I was just trying to make you feel awkward about,
No, not at all.
Say something negative and hope he never goes back on your show again.
Oh, not at all. I love me some ska. I still listen to it. Fucking Superman by Goldfinger, still my number one.
Yeah, they've been putting out some bedroom videos. Do you see that?
Yeah, I saw. That's been awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
So, are you going to step outside of the New York area and do some touring if you can? Are you going to try to get to the rest of the country on the comedy side of things?
Well, I had a pretty specific plan that was kind of working, and then this is sort of changing everything not as much for this kind of stuff. You know what? It's kind of actually been cool that I've kind of got to do a lot of people's shows and stuff like that, because normally, I do stand up every night, so I wouldn't be able to do people's streams on a Saturday night or whatever, you know what I mean? But it's been, my plan was to move to New York, spend the first year just kind of like working my way through the New York club scene and take the odd thing. Like I did a weekend in Helium with Christina from Guys We Fucked. And then I was going to headline New York Comedy Club, a couple of their like other locations. I had 2 weekends that I was doing with them. So I was going to do the odd, like every once a month or two, I was going to do weekends, but for the most part, I was going to work my way through the New York comedy scene. And that was kind of what I wanted to happen was happening. And I was kind of doing 2 spots a night before this shut down. And I was doing the Stand a lot, which I think is the hub of comedy for like New York right now. The Stand Comedy Club.
Yeah, and I mean, I've heard a lot of people talk about it, and like myself, I'm
It's
a
the
California
fucking shit,
guy,
dude.
so I've never been out to New York. I've been on the East Coast, but never New York. And
Yeah.
I do have to agree that New York comics just tend to be better. Like
They are, yeah.
I do not. I live not too far from the Comedy Store out here in LA, and I've never been because I'm not interested in any of the people who go, unless it's someone
There's some
massive.
good people there.
You know, unless it's someone massive.
But they all there's some good people that are at the Comedy Store, but they all came from New York. Like Tim Dillon and Kurt Metzger, and there's a lot of guys there. But like, I bet you all the real fucking killers with an interesting voice that are saying something and kind of invented their own style of comedy. Bet you all those guys are from New York for the most part.
So has the skits and the YouTube side of things been your way of dealing with this, or were you planning on doing that with the stand-up shit to kind of build the brand?
No, I've always done that. I've been doing that longer than I've been doing stand-up. But yeah, I mean, it's simplified in a nutshell. I used to be in a band, and then I made a bunch of TV shows, and then now I do stand-up as well.
People want to know the name of the band because apparently they want to check it out.
The Johnstones, and probably the biggest like MTV song was "Gone for a Long Time."
Okay, so you guys actually hit MTV. That's pretty cool.
We had a couple top 30s. We had probably like 10 songs on MTV videos.
Nice.
Damn.
We would do about it like in our prime. We would do like maybe 1,000 people everywhere. We did like Warped Tour a bunch of years, like that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay, nice. I mean, I've never really gotten into ska, but I do kind of like ska. I don't know how to describe it. It wouldn't be like my first choice, but you know, maybe I'll give it a try.
All of the cool kids were into it for a moment.
Yeah, there was that period, but like it's that genre like where you have to be in the mood for it. You know what I mean? Like you can't just jump into it, just like hanging out.
Depends on the bands. Like you definitely got to be in the mood for the Aquabats, but I don't know if you have to be in the mood for Rancid all the time. You know?
Yeah, there's Rancid, a ska band. They're like kind of on the edge.
I think we'd be kind of in that category too.
You have to be in elementary school for the Aquabats.
Right.
So Joy,
I got a squirt gun. Like it's like holy shit.
Yeah, that's some fucking dork shit.
So Joy used to do an actual on-site podcast. Is that what you were telling me when we were doing the live stream together?
Yeah, so Ryan, he has the Boys Cast, and then he also has another podcast that he does with Danny Polishchuk and like you said, JJ Lieberman and our buddy Patrick, who I actually met through Ryan, who's actually going to be on my stream on Saturday night, which is going to be dope. I got Patrick coming, Ryan.
Prepare to get your channel taken down.
I know we're watching Bill Cosby movie, so that's gonna be.
Don't watch Schindler's List because he's gonna get into it. Don't do a continuity error breakdown of Schindler's List with Patrick.
Patrick's Schindler's List of goofs. I got into their podcast. I met Patrick, and then Patrick was just like, "Oh, I've got all this extra studio time. Did you have any? If anyone else has a podcast idea?" So I told him mine. He really liked it, and then he kind of started co-hosting it with me, and we kind of just kept doing episodes just for fun, and it's a fun time.
Nice. Yeah, someone must have. Oh, go ahead.
He would be like the equivalent of, you know, a guy who had his own show at like Sirius XM and was a producer, but in Canada, and it was Bell Media.
Nice. See, I've never really put in actual time. It's always been self shit like this, or, you know, as I've said it, I've admitted to it a few times over the last few nights, but from 16 to about 25, I worked as a wedding DJ. And so that's what.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's what got me comfortable on like a mic was, you know, having to deal with bitchy women and their mothers while they're on their most special day, you know? So, because you fuck that up, it's not like a live stream where it's like, I had a shitty night. No, you're going to get murdered by a fucking Mexican lady or a fucking white woman.
Yeah, if you accidentally put on Big Bottom Girls for her wedding song.
or mispronounce the name, or just something easy goes wrong, you're in the shit.
I actually did. My buddy Max. I went to his wedding. He was in a band called Mean Tangerine. I went to his wedding like 6 months ago. I can't remember the exact song, but they told him what the wedding song was supposed to be, and there was another song with the same name that they picked, and it was like a super like 80s dance song, like 80s like rock and whatever song. And then they played that, and everyone was like, "What the fuck?" And he was like, "This is what you said." Fuck, I can't. I wish I knew. It'd be the equivalent of if like he picked the wrong Stairway to Heaven. Like there was a different song called Stairway to Heaven. Fuck, I wish I could remember, but it was so funny. We were like, it was like one of the funniest things I've ever seen. His wife was just horrified.
He wanted the Zeppelin Stairway to Heaven, but instead he got the dance hall Stairway to Heaven about anal sex.
The Buju Banton Stairway to Heaven. That's anyone can make that mistake.
Stairway pun to Heaven.
I enjoy your autism of music and TV shows. Really is something to be proud of, man.
Good try.
Hey, it is what it is. Someone said they checked out your band and you guys rock.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
Now maybe they're gonna bootleg your music and not get you guys any royalties.
I mean, I don't give a shit. You know what I get the most royalties from the band, which is actually quite a bit, is we have a bunch of songs in Degrassi. That's still the most thing that I get money from.
Hold on. You guys have a bunch of songs from the show Degrassi. I watched that when I was in high school or in middle school.
Yeah. Well, we have lots of things and lots of things. But that's the thing that I still get like a pretty decent amount of cash from because I always playing those shows.
Do you think Drake is still getting a lot of money for being a fucking guy who got shot and is wheelchair bound?
Some. I mean, not a lot of money compared to how much money he has now, but for sure he is, yeah.
It's got to be weird to do TV and then look back at your shit. Do you ever look back at any of the show you did?
Real soldiers only look forward, always, never look back. Listen, if you kids are out there listening, a word of advice from the kid. You know what? I kind of think of it like a little bit like, you know, when you think back to, I don't know if you went to college or whatever, but when you think back to college or whatever, it's like a lot of times you think back and you're like, fuck, that was sick. But I don't think back like I wish I was still there. You know what I mean?
No.
It's like that. I kind of am like glad it happened. I look back, I'm like, man, that was fucking cool. But I don't wish I was still doing that.
So you wouldn't do a TV show again or that TV show?
Did you say TV? I thought you meant the band. The TV show stuff? Yeah, no, I would definitely like a TV show again. Thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah, no, I was asking about the TV show because I was hoping you would spill it so we could watch it.
Oh, okay. So the show that you can watch if you guys are interested, which I actually do recommend watching because I think this is one of the best things I've done. It's kind of a little mix of Ali G's show and Nathan For You, but a little bit before Nathan For You. And it's called Ryan Long is Challenged. And you can actually watch 6 of the episodes on my YouTube channel right now. And they're half-hour episodes. It was on Byte TV in Canada.
But how long did you have the show for?
1 season because the network shut down. But I had so I did a season of another show, and then I did 3 seasons of a digital series called Torontopia on the CBC, which is like the national broadcaster in Canada.
And how was that similar in styling? Like, it sounds sketch comedy, or what was?
That was Torontopia was sketch comedy. So we did really good on the internet. We had like a ton of millions of views and all that stuff. It was like a digital series about Portlandia, but it was like about Toronto shit. But it was it was like one of the most successful digital series at our national broadcaster anyway.
Nice. So
yeah.
So that kind of makes you sad that you don't still have a TV show?
No. That's something I'll do again. I was talking about the band thing. I was more saying the TV show stuff I do. That is in the plan that I would like to make like a half-hour narrative in America, but I kind of stopped pitching and I stepped away from, that project Torontopia, I stepped away from it when I moved to New York. I knew that my plan was to sort of build my presence on the internet and do all that stuff. So I got like, I got all my things I've tripled. Like even my YouTube channel, I have like 12,000 subscribers, which is nothing, but I had 0 5 months ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then like when the ROTC guys kind of started, talking about you in December, you were sitting at like 1,000 or something, and you've just fucking blown the fuck up.
I always had a big Instagram, and I have like 200,000 or so, or 300,000 on TikTok. But like, but the last 8 years of I had a big following when I was doing the band, but the last 8 years I've been doing like television shows, right? So it's not. I wasn't like building my following. Like I built this website called thehardtimes.net. I did all it's like a satire site, punk satire site like The Onion. So I own a part of that, and I helped build that site to like I did all the videos, and for the last 2 years we were kind of cranking out viral hits on that site, and I helped them build it to like a huge website that we just got like a couple big offers. So that'll be like a payout that's happening soon. So there's lots of things, and also I was like, to be honest, I was making more money doing traditional than I would have on my own thing. But so now I'm kind of in a position where I could move here and just focus on my stuff without needing any cash and all that shit,
Yeah, I mean, you're bringing in that Degrassi paycheck,
Yeah. It was actually, I mean, now we're talking about money, but like when I got here, one of the big things that was like a pretty big payout was Sirius XM. So the same way, how like Revenge of the Sith have been kind of like plugging my shit. There's like 10 or 15. Like when I got to New York, there's been a lot of people that kind of were like that with me, right? Like I felt like everyone was very cool from the moment I got to America. It has been a good experience. All the New York people were nice to me, and then I started doing the Sirius XM shows. So I did a bunch of Sirius XM shows, and then they added my stand-up albums to the rotation, and they gave me like fucking $10,000 or something like that in like the 4 months.
Jesus.
Yeah, dude.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Killing it.
I wasn't even trying to get into money shit, but that's pretty nice. Are they?
But my point is, there's like fucking dude. It's hard to make money like running your own little ship in Canada, but like in New York, it seems like there's a lot of people here that fucking whatever, from the guys we fucked to Shane Gillis or the Mark Norman, like all these people that are making like low key fucking $300,000 a year with their podcast. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of people making it work without the industry support.
Yeah, and it seems like indie is starting to be the kind of the route to go, because then you have full control over your property and what you're creating versus, and you can say whatever the fuck you want, versus being reined in by a company.
Yeah, especially the companies the way they are now, right? Just making like bomb after bomb. Like, this is where I'm at too. I mean, I've been in positions where like I had the option to make projects that I didn't make because no one was going to watch them, And there's a point where it's like, it's important to make something that like that does well and people watch it and it makes like a mark culturally. It's not just like, okay, like let me get another job, So like when I talk about some of these people like fucking, whatever, some of those people I mentioned, it's interesting because those people are making a ton of money. Some people, guys we fucked made some like multi-million-dollar deal, and they go into Comedy Central and they're like, hey, we want you guys to make a TV show for $200,000 a year, and we want you to like kiss our ring. And they're like, yeah, I mean, we made $2 million each last year. So like, this is you should be on your knees begging us to do this, not vice versa. And I don't think they've really realized this switch. So it's like they still want to be courted, but they're actually not offering that much these days.
Well, yeah, and if you look at what Comedy Central is doing in general, like their shit is fucking terrible right now. I mean, some of their stand-up stuff's fine, but their sketch comedy stuff and that broad who does the weed stuff for the weed comedy for the sake of weed comedy, like it's right. Tired.
Dave Chappelle got out at the right time. Like he could see the writing on the wall, I think, better than anybody else.
Yeah, and I think with people like that who they could go and get big ass paychecks and whatever from places like Netflix. Now, Netflix is just handing out cash.
Yeah, those are the big people, but the truth is Netflix is handing out cash to like 10 people, and they're actually offering very little for the other people. Like a lot of people are getting offered $50,000, you know what I mean? And you're like, okay, but I made $500,000 last year on my Patreon, so I'm not really sure why I would do that.
Yeah, but I mean, at least they're bringing in some stuff. Whereas it seems like the Comedy Central is not even trying to get the big people to do anything or anything like that. They're staying really low key.
Yeah, they're not doing a good job. So I mean, hope in an ideal world, someone comes in there one day and be like, okay, our biggest show is South Park. Like, it's the only one that's doing good. Everything else has been a bomb. This whole like ideological thing's been a nightmare from the start. Everything we're doing is, our second biggest show might be fucking, The Daily Show, which is still like a shadow of what it was in its prime. And so I think that they're in a tough spot. So hopefully someone comes in and takes it over and has been like, all right, this is over. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. New mandate. Let's take the biggest people in like comedy. Okay, who are the top 10 comedians in the world right now? Okay, let's say fucking Jay Okerson. Let's say Tim Dillon. Let's say whoever it is. Who's the top 10, new comedians that are actually being interesting? Let's give them TV shows. Let's give Come Down a TV show. See what that looks like. And, and those will actually be successful, So
yeah, versus all the woke bullshit.
Yeah, or whatever, or even when it's not woke, it's this like version of Louis when that trend is kind of over, right? They're making these kind of like vulnerable comedies when that era is sort of wrapping up. It's like if I was to make another ska album, it's over, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems weird with the way everything's going, and hopefully sooner or later it'll break back. I mean, I think maybe the fact that you have a lot of people doing podcasts and whatnot on their own. Like, I mean, Joy recorded and did his own podcast, and now does his own live show. And there's people like me who are way smaller than any of you guys, and anyone is accessible as long as you stay within certain rules, and you can get on outside sources of YouTube and create your own shit. Like, I mean, you look at Jay Okerson, who has his own, what is it, Gas? He has Gas Digital, right? And
yeah, Louis
they're doing extremely well,
Yeah.
So,
dude, I mean, they lost control of the press tour. Like, it used to be, if you wanted to pitch a TV show or whatever, the press tour was, you could go on you could go on all the late night shows, then you could go on these shows. It's like, now, if you really want anyone to care, you need to go on fucking Rogan, you need to go on Theo Von, you need to go on Ethan Klein's show, like whatever it is, but they don't control those people. So, think about that. Hollywood lost control of the tastemakers in a fucking pretty grand way. So once all those things have happened, I think someone needs to eventually come in and be like, listen, we're still a fucking business here. We need to make money. We can't just be getting fucking constantly dummied by the internet. So we'll see what happens, but
yeah, or constantly worried about, hey, someone might be mad at us for saying something that's off-putting to a small minority of people. Like,
which was always the case. I mean, people were mad about Howard Stern, but it was still the biggest show in the world. I mean, now Howard Stern, the new version of Howard Stern, still the biggest show in the world, but it's just the network doesn't get any cut of that profit. So, I mean, it's their funeral. It's like when, you could see it. There used to be a time when you'd get canceled, when people were getting canceled by a network, and it hurt the person and it didn't hurt the network. Now it's like, when the network says, Kevin Hart's not doing the Oscars anymore, that hurt the Oscars far more than hurt Kevin Hart. So I know you're seeing that all over the place. I mean, SNL, Shane Gillis would have been great there, and Shane Gillis's career is actually doing fine. So you're seeing that all over the place where people are getting fired and canceled, and it's actually it's hurting the people that fired them. It's like, whatever.
Yeah, then that was kind of the point I was making, is with the accessibility of doing all this shit at home. Like, think about it. How much is your setup to run a show and a podcast from your house? Not super expensive. $500 at most if you get a really good mic,
Yeah.
And your cost of internet per month. It's a lot. It's easy to do something like this. And I don't know if you guys are doing in-studio stuff when you're not stuck at home, but if you're doing that, so some studio time, it's not like it's one of those things. And
yeah,
I don't know, it doesn't seem like it's viable to be so worried about what everyone else is going to say.
Dude, Andrew Schultz just set up essentially a compound in Brooklyn, and he basically has a TV studio. He has 3 podcast studios. He's got a big room for filming. He's doing cranking out sketches. He's just he has the exact same thing that SiriusXM has in his place in Brooklyn, and he's just taking all the money. And there doesn't have 90 employees; he has 3, quintessential employees. So it's kind of their game to decide whether they're going to get their act together or not. And I mean, whatever, doesn't give a shit. Doesn't matter to me. I'll be fine either way, probably.
Yeah, just don't say anything negative, and this way it doesn't get back to them that you're saying Comedy Central needs to get their shit together. They're gonna.
I've said that plenty on plenty of things.
So, Joy, you kind of disappeared. Did
I'll
you
be back
go
in 1
smoke?
second, by the way.
Yeah,
No, I'm here, man. I'm just listening.
I'm just giving you a hard time because I feel bad because tonight was your night, and then Ryan just he came in and he stole it from you.
Oof.
Is that? So you're just trying to stir shit up? No. I have what the people call radio etiquette, AG.
So do I.
When
I'm
my
just
friend
sitting back
Ryan is
and
talking,
listening.
I listen and wait my turn.
Fuck you,
So
Joy.
I'm just happy to be here, buddy. I can always.
I'm back, so if you wouldn't mind, stop talking. Hey.
I told him, I'm like, dude, I feel bad because Ryan's just more popular than you, and he's like, oh, you're just trying to stir shit up. He's like, no, I have radio etiquette. No, but yeah, so I don't know, man. I think you're putting out good shit, and I think the more people that build up and see your stuff, the more likely you are to get more people. Because your man on the street stuff, dude, is just no one's doing anything like that right now, and no one has the balls to. I don't think is the issue,
Okay, yeah, I have to ask. I have to ask because I forgot to ask you this when you came on my stream last. Ryan.
Straight.
Has any straight questions? Has anyone?
No, I was just saying I'm straight. That's a lot of things that people have asking me. There's so many people that have been asking me. They go, "Are you gay or straight?"
No, I've heard your stories. I'm fairly confident you're straight.
We saw the woman walking around in your background. Let's be real.
No, has anyone took a swing at you, or has anyone attacked you or anything when you're filming your man on the street stuff? Like, I said, you obviously don't show that, but has anyone come at you and gotten really fucking pissed?
Yeah, more so. I used to do way crazier stuff back in the day, like when I was with the band. But these days, the scariest one always is this happened to me twice in the last fucking week. Is a group of fucking hood dudes came over and they're like, yo, let me freestyle. And they do the whole thing like, yo, it's your boy on the street. And they rap for 10 minutes and they go, yo, let me see it. And you're like, dude, I don't want to give you my camera. And they're like, come on, let us see it. And there's 6 fucking hood dudes surrounding you. And you're like, okay, fucking show him back his rapping. And then he watches his own rapping and he's like, yo, fucking sick. And you're like, can we go? So,
am I being detained?
Yeah.
Can I have my camera back, please?
I'll plead the fifth.
Yeah, so that when I was doing my TV show, we used to always hire a couple of really big crew members. So that was kind of a part of it to have a few guys that were super tough. Yeah.
You don't want to get jumped by fucking people in the street because you piss them off.
Or worse, we used to, piss off break into places and piss off security guard. A little more. We used to do way more aggressive stuff back in the day. I think that I can somewhat navigate it on the street where I think if it started to get too much that way, I'd probably because I'm just with one little camera guy and just the two of us. So I think I would probably back off of that. If I was with a whole crew, I'd be a little more willing to do that.
The days of bum fights, Ryan, are gone.
Yeah, someone said I still never got my basketball back from that once, and yeah, because they're dark, y'all. When you say hood, are you speaking of hood as in Hispanics?
Oh, you can use your imagination.
Okay. You don't want to be...
Way to put him on the spot. So do you mean the blacks?
I ain't softballing this shit. Were you talking bad about the blacks? Were they trying to jump you? Were the blacks, they're honky?
No, white. I meant white hoods is what I meant. A bunch of guys, white hoods.
The KKK stole this camera, and we're rapping.
Yeah, they said, hey, if you were gonna keep pledging in our fucking nation, if you ever want to meet the Grand Wizard, you're gonna let us finish our raps.
the fucking Manhattan chapter of the KKK. Hey, yo.
The Manhattan chapter of the KKK. It's the Brooklyn chapter, and they're called the KKK. Dude, white people are totally the best.
I was at this sweet rally the other day.
Yeah, it's a very it's a progressive chapter. Like they have all sorts of races and genders, and they're very diverse.
Dude, there you go. There's a skit. You should totally do that.
I have a skit that I was. It's like a pretty aggressive skit, I guess by today's standards, but that I was thinking about getting some of the like bigger New York comics together to film this. So I might wait till this Corona stuff clears up, but. I'm gonna probably do a version of this, but it's essentially a KKK like a meeting, so everyone's there with the hoods on, and one guy's bringing in a new recruit, and the guy comes in, and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna love this guy. He's so racist," and they're like, and then he comes in, he was like, "Yeah, I actually dated like a Asian girl in high school," and the guy's like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing? You're trying to make me look stupid." And you're like, "I swear, he was really racist all the way over here." Like, like. You thought you said this guy was racist. Dude, I swear he was trashing everyone on the way over here. And you go, "Dude, what are you trying to do here? I thought you were fucking racist." The guy's, yeah, he's he's not.
Hey, say what you said in the car, man.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be pretty good. Especially since dude, it's still one of my best like sketch style shows is Chappelle Show, man. Like you can't get. You can rewatch that and it's fucking timeless. It holds up, even though it's been almost 20 years now.
Yeah, that show was great.
And like the black white supremacists, dude.
Yeah.
or fucking making fun of the real world, dude. Just fucking, I don't know, man. I feel like that was Comedy Central at its peak, and comedy in general felt so. Dude,
much they made so many good shows.
Yeah, and I miss that shit. It feels like now everyone's so worried about what everyone else is gonna say and the sensitivity levels.
And I guess that's why I kind of, you guys are like in the internet, and the internet's so fractioned off, like for the majority of what you do. Where it's like, at least that's the good thing about stand-up comedy is like you go to the clubs every night, because when you see just what the fucking media forces you, you're like, fuck, everyone's so sensitive, and then you go to the clubs and you're like, they're actually not. People are like, it's just the tiny little class that controls everything that is pretending they are. Like when you go to the clubs, like they actually like stuff that's funny still. Like, I don't know, Pesi's been to the fucking Corner Comedy Club and seen me and all my boys there. Like we're all fucking aggressive. It's like, it's not like people aren't sitting in the stand-up club being like, "Oh, come on, dude." They actually they like things that are funny,
Yeah, I think maybe it's more just the minority who are not, and I don't mean minorities.
It's always the minorities' fault, right?
Not the minorities. The minority of people who have the loudest voice and bitch the most are the ones that make it seem like it's that way, because.
And it's not even their fault. Like that's their job, is to be, the same way that people used to protest Ozzy Osbourne and burn his albums or whatever. It's like their job, if you're going to be the fucking, 30-year-old house mom, your job is to complain about shit. But the fucking, the media and like people who run comedy networks, it's their job to be like not total pussies. So I blame them way more than I blame the complainers. It's like, if anything, the complainers are being positively reinforced. It's like, you can't blame them for being what they're supposed to be, but you can blame every comedy network for giving into it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I've been to a few shows before all this shit rolled up, and it doesn't seem that way. Everyone, it's loud and laughing, but with like, and a lot of people give me shit for it, but I went and saw Joe Coy, who I actually find kind of funny. I mean, yeah, his shit's all the same, now he's getting old, so it's just him making fun of his son and shit like that, right? Still, but it's and I saw fucking Dane Cook when he was still Dane Cook and not fucking whatever he is now. But I don't know. But yeah, so maybe I just need to start going to some actual shows and check some shit out, because I feel like with absorbing so much of the internet shit and what we see on this side of the world and Twitter and everything else like that, I'm even becoming biased where I'm just like, everyone's a bunch of pussies, Well,
first of all, you have to be allowed to go to shows again. To get to that first.
California, hopefully that'll be allowed by like stage 3, because they're not letting us get haircuts until stage 4, because our governor is a fucking goofball. But
microchips at stage 5.
I don't know, but it's just like, dude, I need a haircut so bad. I'm getting fucking like.
I found a guy that's giving me one Monday.
Oh.
Found an underground hair cutter, did you?
Yeah, dude.
Underground barber.
Is he coming to your house, or you have to go to like?
No, I go to his house. By the way, I should preface this by the fact that I have zero respect for quarantine, and I've not been quarantining. But...
Neither have I. But I still can't go eat or do anything outside of my house. You know, California.
Well, no, barbers are out there giving haircuts. I bet you probably just look on Craigslist. But I know a couple of my friends got haircuts, and I just go, "Yo, where'd you get that?" And then he just gave me the guy's number, and then I booked it Monday.
Yeah.
Yes.
You actually can't get anything done in New York unless you know a guy.
Yeah, I guess
that's the fact, actually.
Well, yeah, because me and my roommate, Sicko, we asked his barber and some of the guys at the shop that he goes to, and all of them are not cutting right now because of this shit, because they're, at least, I don't know if it's just they're scared or what it is, or if they're really enjoying collecting that fucking California fucking unemployment.
Well, they can cut under the table and do both, right?
Yeah, I would think so, but it's just like I think it's just the fear factor. Everyone's so goddamn.
Yeah, definitely a lot of that. But I mean, I felt like the first month everyone was like, "Ooh, stay in our house," and then like by now everyone's kind of like, "Yeah, all right." Because I was asking people if they want to film, and I was like hanging out with people and stuff. And I don't know that many people here because I'm fairly new. But you know, at first people were like, "Are you crazy? We're gonna go to the park," and then you know now everyone's messaging me and be like, "Yeah, let's do something." So people are kind of over it, which is good. That people are stop being pussies. My buddy said this. I think I said this to the Revenge of the Cis guys on my podcast too. But my buddy had to say the funniest thing. He was like, "They're like, what if your grandmother like gets sick?" And she's like, "I think my grandmother would rather die than know that her grandson's a fucking loser."
Well, and that's like my mom was saying, oh, she's all worried about my grandpa, and I'm like, have you asked him what he thinks and whether he would rather you guys come over? Because this guy, he's a fucking World War II vet. Like,
yeah.
He fought in Vietnam. Like, I know him. He's old school. He's old school
for the Vietnamese.
Yes. He fought. He was Charlie. He's old school Portuguese racist. So you know. He would just tell everyone to go fuck themselves and stop being such pussies, you know. But
I had some. Are you Portuguese?
On my mom's side, so she's half. So I got a little quarter Portuguese than me.
I was going hard on Portuguese in one of my jokes, actually.
Can we hear it?
I was talking about how every religion hates gay people and loves hats. So it's like, you know, the Sikhs have a hat and the Jews have a hat and the Asians have the Jewish hat, but they wear it over their mouth. Like all that kind of stuff, right? But then I was saying, then I was like, well, it's not just religions. I go, the Portuguese people have a hat, a construction hat. And then as I was putting the hat on, I would go, my culture doesn't value education.
I mean, it's not far off, man. I grew up in the Central Valley of California, and you know what they primarily did was ranch, dairy, and farm.
Right.
Then the fucking greenhorns, man.
Well, I go, when you picture a construction worker, the guy drywalling your house, what are you picturing? You picture him. Was that a Steinberg or a D'Souza? You tell me.
It's either where I grew up. It was either Portuguese people fixing your house or Mexican people. So you know, D'Souza works for both of them because Souza with an S is Portuguese and Souza with a Z is Mexican.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
And Diaz, they just copy each other.
We don't really have Mexicans in Canada, so I got to get to know the Mexican like stuff better.
Yeah, we have like 3.
Yeah.
But you guys do have a lot of Portuguese, right?
Do you know why we don't have more Mexicans?
Because they stay here?
No, it's it's just too far. They're a little lazy. I don't know if you heard that. They go, California, they said, I'm sleepy.
It's too hot.
It's too cold. It's too cold up there for them.
But I'm doing I just applied for the Canadian money that they're giving out, actually. So we'll see what happens. But It would be good to get your one and just do like live the dream to just move to America and just fucking be a welfare queen straight out, like us fucking immigrants.
Just the opposite, though. It's like the whitest Canadian guy just fucking was throwing around his welfare check.
Hell yeah. Those Trudeau fun bucks.
He would be on the Trump buck train because he would go full American welfare.
I tried. It's hard to get. It's like complicated.
Well, I think you have to have a kid or not be white. I think
Maybe
that's some of the standards. And it's like the first question is, are you white? Do you have a kid? Then you don't qualify. Or maybe that's just California.
I was doing tons of jokes about being an immigrant. Like I was really getting to my groove of talking about being an immigrant when I fucking when stand up got shut down. I remember I was saying a lot of when I first moved here, I moved here because everyone said that everyone in America is really racist, so I moved here to get in on that.
Ryan, you haven't recorded you never had a chance to record a comedy, like any comedy set, like for a special or anything like that, while in the US, right?
Not a special, but I've been putting clips up that I recorded here.
Okay, because I was gonna say you should call the first special you recorded in America, you should call it An Immigrant Story.
Yeah, that's pretty good actually. I like it.
And then make it seem like it's all inspiring, like some Oscar bait shit, and then it's just like
I've been doing a lot of that on stage, but people like telling them they don't know what it's like to be an immigrant. People like us talk to the black guys in the crowd, and they're like, "I'm not an immigrant." And they're like, "Oh, sorry if I'm so disgusting that you don't want to be associated with me." I was having fun with all of
it. Have you been writing a lot since quarantine? Have you been writing anything?
No, I don't write if I can't do shows because it's pointless. Like I find that my system, I used to write 2 hours a day, and my system was I would write during the day and then do it at night, and then you kind of refine and work on stuff. But if I was to write a lot of stand-up comedy now, it would be me like going down paths for like weeks that ended up being useless, right? So you need to be able to try, I'll spend 3 weeks on something that if I just did it once on stage, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's nothing. So it's stupid. I don't think it makes sense to be writing when you can't be performing.
Yeah, because you can't work it out and actually see how it works.
No, yeah, it's
have you
like
tried weed? It's just you probably get the same result, but at least you'll write a lot of nonsense.
Yeah, no, it's not the writing's. It's not that the writing's different. It's that you'll end up like I'll get obsessed with an idea, right? And then I'll be really like writing about that a lot. But sometimes you do it on stage once and you're like, that didn't feel right. The target's off, or something about it feels wrong. The audience doesn't like that coming from me. Like there's so many factors. They're very difficult to understand until you actually try it in front of the audience and kind of feel what that feels like. So I think that without that feedback loop, you're kind of just throwing all this stuff into the abyss, and it doesn't really make sense. So like I found 3 days was the most I'd want to write without doing a set before it started to be like diminishing returns on how useful this is.
So then have you been writing down like ideas, not necessarily writing out anything, but things that you've thought about? Do you ever pencil down like things or ways you want to go with things?
I have some like ideas that maybe I'll go with, but that's not. I'm fairly like systemized with how I work for everything. But so I try to not let my brain just be like all over the place all the time. Like a lot of people are kind of like, I just had this idea and it just came to me, and the kind of like stroke of genius thing. I try to, because I do so many things, I try to keep my brain focused on one thing at a time. So I'm not just like. So if I'm not thinking about stand-up, if I'm thinking of, let's say, for example, I'm thinking about on the street interviews, every like idea I have will be funneled into that, So.
Gotcha.
When I don't have my like stand-up brain put on, I'm kind of not thinking like that.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Like when I'm thinking about my stream, that's all I fucking think about until I get the thing that I need done. Yeah. Same, like I've been actually kind of trying to harness that towards finishing some fucking video games during this quarantine. Just being like, all right, I'm gonna finish this one, and then I've been getting far. But I know exactly how that feels.
Well, it's a better way to operate. I mean, a lot of people might disagree with that, and that depends on how many things they do. But I think most books on, you know, how to be productive and how to have a career that's longer than just a spec. You know, you got to be able to systemize things in a way that kind of actually makes sense in the long run, which is not just being all over the place all the time.
Well, and then it's also the case with you having and doing like skits and the interviews and the stuff you're doing on the channel, you know, for TikTok and stuff. Why TikTok? What got you there first? Because it seems like you started TikTok before you started YouTube, right?
No. I have all the things. It's just I became like the #1 comedian on TikTok for a while, so I have like the biggest following there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wondered how like you blew up so differently over there.
I have no idea, but I think I was like one of the early stand-ups on there. I think my jokes all move pretty quick. That might be something. You know, I'm look young enough that I feel like my jokes are, for lack of a better word, like hip enough that it doesn't have that like old person feel for like young people. Like people that are people that are 19 and 20 like kind of relate to what I'm saying, as opposed to someone that maybe is like a more millennial in a lot of ways that, you know, sometimes maybe feels like old people shit to them. So I don't know, maybe a mix of those things. I'm not exactly sure. My jokes are all like really short and 45 seconds long, so a lot of people tell these big stories and they don't really translate well into like under a minute clip. Maybe a mix of some of those things.
The funny thing is, what I found the funniest about your TikTok, dude, is because it's TikTok, there's not only like the videos you're posting, but there's also like videos of like tween girls like mimicking your stand-up bits, which is like the fucking weirdest thing to watch.
So weird.
Yeah, you're those sketches you have, because I don't have TikTok, but I catch them on Twitter all the time. I think that's
all the
like
same thing. I just have the same thing on every platform.
Yeah, it's almost like, but that's like purpose built for TikTok, like the way that your delivery is that in that sense. The federal employee on lockdown one, like that's perfect for that. Like it just fits right into it.
What was that one again?
The federal employee during lockdown.
Oh yeah, that bombed on TikTok.
It seems like the one that would fit like that the best, I would think.
No, the only thing that my stand-up kills on TikTok. Nothing else really does that good. The odd interview does, but it's my stand-up that get big numbers on TikTok. Everything else is like, I don't know, it doesn't work for some reason. Too produced, maybe, I don't know. Listen, if I had the answers, my friends.
Well, if you know, 18-year-old girl can't, you know, voice and put themselves next to you and act like they're you, Milli Vanilli style, then, you know, it's not going to work for them.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things that everyone's kind of like, I think, wrong about on TikTok. And again, because I have a big following there, I'm obviously like arguing for it. But the people are like, oh, all your fans are like, you know, all the TikTok people are so young, and you're like, it's actually like dudes in college. Like my the guys, the people who like me, it's 80% men, and it's fucking college kids. It's like this, you know. But think about yourself in college. Like that's exactly who you want as fans. Like fucking, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And they have disposable income too, since, you know.
But they're also like kind of on the pulse too, right? Like, I mean, think about you when you were like fucking 20. You knew what the cool fucking TV shows and comedians were and all, you know. That's kind of like when people are on the most on the pulse sometimes.
I think you're giving me too much credit at 20. Not very cool right at this point. I don't know how cool I was back then. Just smarter and realize I was a fucking jackass back then too.
That was funny because stand-ups are always like the idea that that everyone's like has to be like a loser to be a stand-up. They're always pushing that narrative.
No, I was a total loser in high school. Like I'll be quite honest. Like I was a smart kid, but I fucking was the fucking hang out with fucking one or two people and just fucking stay away from all the bullshit kid, you know?
Hey man, nothing wrong with that.
Made me focus on school versus, you know, parties until I started working DJing with one of my buddies whose dad owned the company. And after we would get done with events, and he was 21 and I was 17, working for his dad, and he had graduated because I met him when I was a freshman, and he lived around the corner from us. growing up, we play football and stuff as kids, and found out his dad had a company. His dad fucking brought me on to work with him, and after we would just all go get smashed at 17, throwing up in the park, just spraying Coors Light everywhere.
Hell yeah.
It was the Central Valley of California.
Cool,
there was
actually.
nothing ever to do.
That's funny.
It was fucking terrible, dude. It was teen pregnancy capital of the United States for most of my time growing up. So, you know, that doesn't tell you much.
Definitely would have been if I was there.
Boys.
All the teen boys.
You would have got them all those teen boys pregnant.
It would have been a junior situation for all the teen boys.
Holy shit, man. Hey, so what time you got your next big thing coming up? Because I know you were saying you got a lot of shit lined up outside of your own stuff.
Me?
Yeah, you got some other.
Dude, I had 60. Oh no, I think you're talking about, because I said basically I had a list of like podcasts and stuff like that I was doing. So I kind of was like maxed out for the next 2 weeks. That's why I was just kind of like, hit me up in a bit, because it was starting to get it was starting to get like 3 a night, and I'm still trying to do other stuff too, right? So I still need time to edit and do all my other stuff. So I try to do like 2 days a week where I'll do like podcast and appearance and stuff like that. But no, it's quite the opposite. I literally had 70 dates, I think, in my calendar, and I highlighted and then deleted that block of 70 dates. So, I actually have 0 coming up. I used to be a TV. I used to have a TV show. I had all these dates coming up, and now I'm a live streamer who bothers people on the street. So
with your broom pole.
Yes, check out the Boys Cast with Ryan Long on iTunes and YouTube. But no, it is what it is, dude. I don't know. I've like, to be honest, I think I've fucking been doing this long enough that it hasn't stressed me out. What about you, Pesi? Have you been bummed out about this shit or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I do kind of miss work. I miss like having actually like a thing, like an actual like legit thing to do every day.
Feeling like you're have a purpose.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, I can day drink with reckless abandon. So, you know, you take the good with the bad, I guess, man. You know, you do whatever. You know, as soon as they call me back to work, I'll be back on it. It's not like you know.
Is your chick working?
Yeah. She's been working from home since the start.
She's working from home now.
Yeah. But
and you're just bopping around the house. You're just bopping around the house, bothering her.
I just throw on my headphones and just play video games for like 8 hours.
Just to throw on any pants though. Just the headphones.
Yeah. Headphones and an apron.
Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah, there was like a couple moments where I was like kind of bummed out, but then I like, you know, whatever, snapped out of it and stopped being a pussy. I might come back to Toronto for a bit and do some shit there.
Sweet.
Is it opening up there?
No, I just my car, like, this is boring, but my car is there and I still have like a storage locker full of stuff. So I was like, maybe this is a good time to go like get my shit, just because why not?
Well,
you won't bump into anybody.
I'll go say hi to my parents.
Will you have to be locked into your house once you get back to New York? If you leave and come back?
Aren't I supposed to be locked into my house now?
True.
Fair enough.
I mean, they're checking papers, man. I'm just making sure you're going to be good to cross the border again.
I guess what the thing that you're saying that I should actually look for is when I get to Canada, if they're going to lock me up for 2 weeks. That's something I probably should check into.
I didn't even think of that side. Yeah, that might be it.
I know. So that's something I'm trying to figure out, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Everyone seems to be slowly opening this shit up, and California's even, and all these other states are. So hopefully it's just we're at the end of it, you know?
I honestly have no idea. Yeah, it's like I feel like it changes every fucking day. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Like there's some places like Michigan and stuff that just keep extending it over and over. It just doesn't seem like it's ever gonna end.
Yeah, I don't know. There's going to be certain states that will always do that and, push and move things. Fuck, dude. I continuously have shows getting popped because of talking about coronavirus for terms of service on YouTube. Friday, I was watching parody songs, coronavirus parody songs, and laughing about them and, with the audience and shit, and making them watch it with me. And that stream got taken down by the algorithm because it was talking about coronavirus and I was laughing about it. So
that happened way early on with our friend Frozen Asian on the Sunday Night Shit Show. He didn't even talk about Corona because he doesn't do that kind of topical stuff.
Yeah.
He was just doing really terrible videos. And one of them didn't even say coronavirus. It just had the words coronavirus on the bottom of the screen, and they popped his live stream.
Yeah, they did the same thing on that'll be my third stream, and I wasn't even talking about it. I was just watching fucking parody videos. It just seems like the algorithm is just grabbing anything that says it, and if it's not spewing out the common knowledge shit, then and the shit that's okay to say, then they're pulling it down. And then they haven't put it back up yet, even after contesting it with YouTube and shit. I don't know. It's becoming a really weird line to skate with YouTube and shit nowadays.
Well, they already said that they were going to minimum staffing, whatever they consider that to be, and so the algorithm now, it's there's not as much human input, so I think it just kind of just nets everything in. And then you have to contest it. They just do that on purpose, just to make it easier on them, which it sucks for the user because then you always get caught in that net and then have to fight with them for 2 weeks to get it back.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the one thing I keep running into, and that's I'm surprised when other people talk about it that they're not getting and dealing with the same shit too.
I got a copyright strike 2 days ago, which is not good.
Hold on, actual strike?
Yeah.
For what?
Just a video that had been up for 10 years that had an instrumental from a Katy Perry song.
Jesus.
YouTube's such garbage now, man. I swear to God.
This is why I never bother with YouTube. I have some on my YouTube channel. I have some short memes that I did whatever back in the day, but I started streaming. I never bothered streaming on here. I think I played Tetris once, and that was it because I just didn't want to keep getting taken down for something I say or something I do or something. It's always something with this fucking website.
But you could have gotten popped for the Tetris music too. That's the thing.
Yeah, you could.
It's so insane. When I started streaming, I know I don't a super small time. I'm a nobody. But I was if I'm gonna do this, there's no way I'm gonna use YouTube because thankfully DLive had just become a thing. So now I could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I guess I.
Go ahead. Sorry. No. Go ahead.
Mine was. It's I actually think you guys are right, but it still is the biggest people that are actually using that platform to draw and stuff are still I don't know if there's a big, huge DLive star that's putting up numbers like some of these YouTube people. So it seems like the one that can still grow at the highest rate and matter.
Well, yeah, that's what YouTube wants to be. Though. That's the thing is they're trying to basically be an extension of network television,
which they kind of are.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what they want. So they're trying to get these advertisers to stay in YouTube. So they're pushing out all the edgy content. So there's going to be a market for it eventually. I mean, DLive, I want to say it grows a little bit every day. I think the biggest name on there might still be PewDiePie. I know he was on there for a while. I don't know if he still is.
He's a huge YouTuber too, though, right?
Yeah, he was doing his exclusive gaming and stuff over there, and then when he first came over is when the platform blew up. You had a shit ton of people come over because of him.
He's insanely huge. It's nuts.
And it was smart of them to bring him over and contract him in for live stream gaming stuff, and it made the platform known to everyone by getting him in there. And because we had
there's a perfect example of what we were talking about before, where it's YouTube and those people basically you know, they all trashed PewDiePie and like whatever, tried to cancel him. And then all that happened is that he brought all 10 million kids over to a new platform.
Yeah, exactly. And he still is just as relevant and just as big
Or
on
more,
YouTube.
yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. It seems like you could hear all they're trying to cancel the person over, and it doesn't work, and it just helps them. It's a Streisand effect in a lot of reasons, you know.
Yeah, dude, it's interesting.
So we need to figure out how to get you canceled so we can blow you up even more, Ryan.
And then we can put you on D-Line.
Yeah.
No, I mean canceled by like someone big, like a news outlet. I'm gonna start sending out stories that Ryan Long has been on multiple fascist shows.
Yeah.
I get you going. I want to get you started.
So we've already got him linked to the alt-light with ROTC, so it's not going to have to try very hard. We already got.
Well, I mean, come on, you know, that'll get you. Look at Shane Gillis. Look what happened with Shane Gillis.
Yeah. No, I mean, when I first moved here, I was like, fuck, should I be kind of scrubbing my stuff and worrying about that stuff? And then you kind of look at it and you're like, well, there's no chance to do anything important while you're, you know, and good right now if I was watching what I was saying. So the only real option is to just say whatever, it is what it is. So, you know, if you look at what the funniest things are, you know, or even the things that the people that are the most popular, what are the big podcasts like Legion of Skanks and Come Down, or I don't know, what are the big New York ones? You're like, you know, you're not going to be able to compete with those kind of guys if you're censoring yourself. So,
no, exactly, and you're limiting yourself if you're, you know, if you're not getting to be authentic, you know.
100%. So I kind of made the decision that I'm going to be friends with who I want to be and make the stuff I want to be, and as long as I think people are funny, like, you know, I know people, you know, and Pesi knows in Toronto, I had a traditional like television career in a lot of ways, and I hung out with all the fucking guys that everyone, you know, was accused of all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
That was all my boys, was like the people that were the pure troublemakers, and I've kind of been the same here, and it is what it is. We'll see.
Yeah, but it works out, and honestly, man, like, it is a breath of fresh air to the platform because no one's really doing that kind of shit right now on YouTube or anywhere else. Even though, like, I find your longer videos, like your 7-minute long videos, way more, like, I feel more satisfied with those than I watch like a 2-minute video. I'm like, damn it, dude, there's not enough. I need more.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I did like 3 of the longer ones, and it kind of, it feels like more like a show, and you can actually watch it, you know. So and it's like I have the skill of like how to make kind of a television show, so I'm able to like structure it in a way that's actually watchable in that format, which I agree, but I'm just like, fuck, I can't do that every week.
Well, I mean, you get big enough, then you tell someone and have someone edit for you. Then you don't have to. You just film it, you know, and then just say, "Here's all the shit."
No, for sure, that's what it is. I mean, that's true and it's not true. I mean, because you know, one of the reasons my stuff is what it is because of me as an editor. Like, that's one of the things that's always the hard thing. Like, most people that are big, you know, YouTubers or whatever, it's like one of the things that they're talented at is an editor, right? So it's kind of being like, oh, once you're a big enough stand-up comedian, you don't have to write your jokes anymore. You get right them. And you're like, well, no, that's the thing that I'm good at. That's why people like me. Like, you can't actually just get someone else to do it for you. So it's almost like you can like run your editing room and have some people kind of like helping with assemblies. But at the end of the day, that's like, I don't think there's very many people in the world that could edit that thing the way that I can edit. Like, that is the thing in a lot of ways, you know?
Yeah, and I agree. Well, and that's the thing is if you okay, so
it's like with no, sorry to interrupt you again. I thought it'd just even better. It's like a DJ. It's kind of like how a DJ, you're like, well, he doesn't have to like mix all this stuff himself, and you're like, well, that's kind of what it is. That's the thing, you know?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I edited for multiple people, some of their stuff, and they gave me their format. Like, they would give me their layout of what they wanted, and then I would just mirror it. Like, I didn't take liberties with it or anything. It was literally cut and paste and fill in the gaps just so they didn't have to go through and listen and find those snippets that they wanted and the things like that.
Yeah, that's the easy part, but that's not what editing is, right? Like
No.
that's assistant editing is what you just described.
Yeah. Well, and that's exactly what I mean. Like for a couple of YouTube channels, they had their formula down, they had what worked, and then found someone like in me who would be down to do it and whatever, make some money.
Here would be an example. So the type of the things I'm doing, a big, huge part about is like picking the right music, picking the right rhythm, sequencing how it's going to happen. Like it's all of that stuff, like, having the right mix between like the audio cues leading people versus the visual cues leading people. Like those are all things that you can't just tell someone your format. You can teach them your format over 8 years if they're like naturally talented and they kind of see the world the same way you interface with it. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that type of stuff. Like, here's an example. Like the guy who edited Portlandia, Tim and Eric, like a few other Eric Andre show. Like that's one guy. Like a lot of these huge, like there's only 3 or 4 like big guys in Hollywood that like do all of these shows. And that's guys. So it's not really something that just anyone could do. A lot of like some of the biggest YouTubers. That's why I always say it's like these big sketch YouTube guys. You're like, that guy's not even funny. It's like, yeah, you know why he's popular? Because he's probably one of the best editors in the world. Like that's the reason.
Well, yeah, like a whole important part of comedy sketches in general and anything really is the editing, right? And editing, I always found it's easy to teach someone like how to use, like you can teach someone how to use a particular editing software, but like to actually like know how to like kind of like to actually know how to make
well, you can teach them the
from
language. You can't teach them what to say.
Yeah, easy to learn, hard to master, I guess is the best way to.
Well,
yeah, for sure.
And I know like what I like to do with my edited videos and stuff. If you go back in my catalog,
yeah, you got
outside of my live,
yeah.
outside of my live is different than what other people were doing because I wanted to find something while talking about the same shit that everyone else was talking about, something that set me apart, And that was that was in the editing. Well, that was in the editing, It was how I, transitioned and what I used and drop clips and stuff like that to add. Since I'm not a fucking particularly funny guy with other people, I could be funny, but on my own,
But yeah, that's what you mean. You're like your style. What like the editing was really what your style was. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I totally understand the logic, and that's why. And I've always thought that why don't people use more editing? And now that you point it out, it does make a lot of sense because I wouldn't.
Because it would suck. That's why. Yeah, it's like you're like
I wouldn't have someone edit my shit unless they were just clipping like from the live show,
And you're like, what you need is another guy like you, and that's really expensive. So it's kind of like that's the hard part,
Yeah.
That's what Andrew Schultz has this guy named Mark Gagnon. He's like a buddy of mine, and he essentially hires him full time. He gets like a full time, and he goes on tour with them, and he gets all these other things. And he basically had to set up in a way to make it worth him. Like he's gonna go on tour with them. He's gonna get promoted on his podcast. He's gonna get all these other things, but he kind of works, and he still gets a salary, and he makes all his videos and stuff like that. And he's kind of which works, but I mean that's that's the kind of thing you need to offer someone. Like if someone wanted me to essentially be their editor, like that would be very expensive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And you have to have a common ground with the person and the understanding of like their vision in order to meet what they're wanting.
Yeah, it's almost like the sauce. I mean, I hired a guy to do clips for me, and he was like, even just cutting my podcast into clips. And I honestly thought like he did a really good job, but it was like literally the ones I did would all do really well and the ones he did wouldn't. And it was like, it's hard to explain, but it's the little subtleties that like, it's just the pacing was a little slow. Like then it would kind of, the things would kind of happen a little bit. And it was just this tiny little thing, but those are the things that make something like do really well or not do really well.
Yeah, with editing, you gotta. It's weird because you have to have that kind of foresight of how it's gonna land at the end finished product before you even cut it together. So it's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I've tried it before and I can't do it.
Well, and that's my biggest channel is not this channel. It's my clip channel. It's a channel of me clipping other shows, and I don't. Nobody like. I mean, well, a lot of people in my audience now know, but people who follow that channel don't know it's me doing it because I keep myself out of it, and 100% it's blind. So like I clip
Nice.
ROTC and a bunch of other big streams, and I take the big moments or the things that I think are gonna speak to people out there that they need to hear or whatever, and it's worked out. Almost 10. I think I'm at like 8,000 now on that channel. So, I mean, it's
Nice, dude.
You know,
That's fucking awesome.
Nice.
But that's my money make channel because this channel I just do for fun.
Clip the boys cast. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, no, I'll ask you straight here. Are you okay with me pulling some of your shit down?
Of course.
Okay, because I always want to. I always ask the people that I might clip or might not clip before I do it, because it with copyright and all that shit. I've had one copyright strike over there from a person who said they told me they would allow me to, but then they got mad because I clipped a context they didn't want out there, and so they copyright struck it, and the channel got a fucking strike for fucking 90 days. Yeah,
boo. That sucks.
Some faggy shit. But it is what it is. But yeah, you have tomorrow premiering with the RTC guys, right? They're on tomorrow's show.
Correct. Yeah.
So you guys, pardon me, because I've only listened because I always pull things off of iTunes when I don't want to watch it on YouTube. Do you do live on camera for the Boys Cast stuff and actual like traditional podcast style, or are you just audio only?
No, it's not live, but
on camera is what I meant.
Yeah, I've released it on YouTube as well. Yeah.
Gotcha. So yeah, let's see. Joy, I figure I don't know how long we want to go tonight, and I know you're a busy man, Ryan. So I want to make sure I'm within your time frame. And
I'm probably gonna have to go soon, just because I got some shit to do tomorrow, and then tomorrow night, and then Saturday morning, and then Saturday night.
What he's saying is he's more important than this. Even Ryan didn't jump at that so fast, and Ryan's much bigger.
Well, asked, you fucker.
Yeah, I do have to go though here very shortly.
I know Tom's got to be an adult tomorrow. He actually has to go to work.
Yeah, I have to go do responsible stuff. It sucks.
What do you mean it sucks? I'll trade you positions right now, man.
Well, yeah. I mean, it doesn't suck in terms of like I'm not worried about where my next meal is going to come from, but it sucks because you have to get up and do the slog every day. It's what it is. It's a rat race, man. It's life.
Yeah. So, well, you want to promo your
life,
shit,
bro?
You want to promo your shit, Joy and Major Tom?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Joe, yeah. Joy of Pesi.
I think, yeah.
Well, I was
he
like,
just took a massive hit.
I was like, is Tom gonna go? DLive.tv/Joy of Pesi. Tomorrow night after Nightwave, we're gonna be watching some educational shit. I think tomorrow night, the two films are, Athletes for Abstinence and this rollerblading is cool video. So that's Friday night, and then Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, we are going to be doing some just stupid family show shit, and then 11:45 p.m. Saturday Eastern, Midnight Riff Party, we are doing Leonard Part 6, which is like this terrible Bill Cosby spy movie. There we go. Yeah.
It's like a bad Naked Gun movie, but with Bill Cosby. You can make rape jokes. It's going to be.
Gay conversion therapy isn't healthcare. It's dangerous, and it's.
So I do that show co-hosting with Joy of Pesi, but I also do my own show on Sundays at noon. It's very confusing because I make it difficult on people. It's Major_Tom on D Live with zeros for O's. It's called The Big Empty, and it's all about how everything sucks and you should hate life. You should join me and be depressed on Sundays at noon.
I still think Joy's was the best. Joy, you're never gonna live that one down. I'm gonna clip that out of this and send it everywhere, buddy.
That's fine.
And Ryan, take away my fun, you asshole. Ryan Long, Boys Cast. What else you got?
The Boys Cast with Ryan Long, and then everything from YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all of my things are at Ryan Long Comedy. YouTube/Ryan Long Comedy. Instagram, Twitter, Ryan Long Comedy, and then the Boys Cast with Ryan Long.
Gay conversion therapy.
Except for your
healthcare.
YouTube, I just dropped your
dangerous
link,
it
and it's
destroys
like
lives.
Fat Brendan's.
Fat Brethrens. But if you type in youtube.com/Ryan Long Comedy.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I dropped your link for everyone. So
Because everyone has do you know how you have two links? Because you have the original link and then you get your special link or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's still /Ryan Long Comedy works.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Well-
Ryan's cool enough. You could just Google his name and get to him.
Yeah, he's big enough.
You don't have to worry about the link.
Fat Brethrens.
You know what Fat Brethrens is, though?
I
What is
I
it?
don't.
It's like, it's like fat with a PH, and then it's like cool, and then Brethrens is like
Yeah, like
friend
my
in
brethren.
Jamaican. Yeah.
Oh.
Scarborough, mate.
Wait,
Yo,
is
Fat
that
Brethrens.
Is that from
pretty
your
hot
ska
and
days?
tempting friends? That's kind of I don't know.
It was a joke from high school where we actually said that we had a gang called the Fat Brethrens. That was the joke.
Do you have to say no homo after you say that?
Well, the homo, I wouldn't say no homo because there's lots of homo implied, but I go Fat Brethrens, pure homo.
Extra homo.
Extra homo, yeah.
Boys.
For sure homo. Boys.
Well, shit, guys. I really appreciate you guys coming on, and I know Joy's got things to do. I'm sure fucking Ryan definitely has things to do, and I'll let
Yeah,
you
dude,
guys...
I'll fucking if this stuff's still going on for like in another month or so, we'll do it again.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
definitely. And we could go over and watch something on Joy's channel. That's always a good laugh.
Yeah, I told him I'm gonna come back and do another one.
Yeah,
Anytime.
maybe not Carrot Head this time.
You leave Mr. Top out of this. He's doing his best.
Hey, he is making a shit ton of money in Vegas. Well, maybe not right now, but
Oh, it's a contract. He's just making money whether he's out there or not. Not as much, but he's still making.
Guys, I mean, come on, let's be real here. Carrot Top right now is being forced to stay at home. Think of all the props that he's coming up with right now.
Yeah, if you want to see a good show in Vegas, find out when they're going to start doing Carrot Top shows again, and then book one of those because I'm sure the amount of props it's just going to be nothing but autistic props. It's going to be great.
That's really funny.
he's had so much time to make fucking a toaster.
He's sitting in an empty room staring at a Corona bottle saying, I know there's something. You can do this.
And you know, that's one thing, like, I was thinking about it, is what's his name hasn't made a parody song. We have all these shitty parody songs. Why can't we get Weird Al to do a parody song? I know he's anti doing a Corona parody, but he needs to do it.
Yeah, Weird Al's all like social justice Al now. Woke Al.
That'd be perfect. Then he could do one that talks about washing your hands and shit.
Agreed.
Well, yeah, guys, I'll let y'all get out. I do appreciate everyone coming on, and I'll play through. Let's see if we got any donos, and then if there's any questions in there, I'll run them through. No, we got a yo. We got a couple of super chats popping through. I don't think there's any questions for you, Ryan. Besides saying that people saying you're gorgeous and other things.
Oh yeah, the dudes are feeling me.
I'm pooping myself.
This was actually a girl, so there you go.
Ew. Yuck.
Gross.
The Boys Cast is for boys only.
And I think I'm pooping myself.
Sorry, girls. No tuna for Ryan. It's beef only.
Myself. I'm breathing.
Oh, I forgot I changed my dono sound to I'm pooping myself, and now it's fucking just constantly I'm pooping myself.
And I think I'm pooping myself, damn it. I'm pooping myself. I'm pooping myself. I'm breathing.
Well, yeah,
By the way, you saying that, how come people can see me but we can't see you guys?
Because since I'm running my camera in here, I tried turning on my camera for video for you, and it wouldn't. What I should have done was shared screen with you.
Do I need to give you guys a tutorial on how to turn the camera on?
I just don't have a
Oh
camera.
yeah, I don't do the camera thing. I can't. I get too edgy, so I can't. I have to maintain some form of anonymity, or I could actually lose my.
Oh, he could lose himself.
If Tom shows his face, he won't be allowed to work at the deli anymore. So
won't be allowed to do that.
Boom.
There. Now you can see my screen. I just shared my OBS with you, so you're gonna see yourself too.
Holy shit!
We got it.
Didn't work.
Click on show members. It shows live. It's running in.
Welcome to Surfing for Seniors 2.
Oh, there, that worked.
But yeah, so that way, because it won't let me pull my camera straight and see. And at the end of the show, guys, we're gonna do some tech lessons. Ryan is very good at getting audio to work on Discord. He learned that today.
You know what? Okay, so now that I didn't want to, get into it there, and because people are probably bored of it.
to Ryan,
But
Pesi,
the
and
problem
Tom.
was
This was awesome.
because I just hooked up my audio card or whatever, the mixer, so I was able to get my headphones. I was able to get the monitoring. Okay, I spit it out there finally. Because right now I can't hear myself in the headphones, but if I go through my sound card and the headphones through there, I can. But for some reason, I wasn't able to get OBS to like have my output through my sound card. When I put the output as my sound card, nothing would come out. But then when I put the output through the computer, it works. But then I can't have the headphones, which is driving me fucking crazy because it makes me speak too loud and lose my voice.
Yeah. See, I'm using Voice Meter Banana, and so all I do is click a button and it feeds myself back into my ears. Because I don't have
but
an actual board.
it gives you a lag. It gives you a lag though, no?
No, it's not. There's no major lag on it or anything. Everything's ran with it's running just like a soundboard would with a virtual cable.
Oh, so it's like a separate program that allows you to monitor yourself?
Yeah, virtual board. It's a literal virtual board. I could do everything the board would do without having to buy a board.
But you don't have a microphone? What's your microphone plugged into?
Run into the computer, and then the computer. I just set up the board for the computer. I'm gonna get a full board because I want to get an actual like nice mic. So
yeah. All right, I'll buy it, but whatever. I got next time I do one of these shows, I got to do a test to figure out how to do that because it fucking wrecks my voice when I can't hear myself.
Yeah, it's free. They just ask if you want additional audio cables for a couple of bucks. Download. So it's a free. It's just like OBS, how it's it's internet created by internet people.
Yeah. What's it called? I'm gonna have to get that. That actually sounds pretty dope because I don't have a board at all.
Voice Meter Banana.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
Yeah, and you can find a tutorial on how to set it up and everything on YouTube. See, guys, you wanted Tech Hour. You're getting Tech Talk at the end. There you go. But yeah, it's good. It took me a little time to get it all lined up, but it works out well and works well with all the other programs I use. So since I'm too lazy to get an actual soundboard and put together an actual soundboard.
Yeah, you guys got that professional shit going on. I don't have any of that. I just have a Yeti on a boom, and that's it. That's all I got.
Well, I mean, your guys' shit sounds good. Yours and Joy's. Mine,
just use a gaming headset.
Oh, okay. Joy's old school. He's going freaking. He doesn't even have his separate mic. Jesus.
Nope.
But yeah, so. All right. Well, I'll shit, I played all the donos. Thank you, everyone, for joining in, and hopefully we'll get to do it again soon if Ryan doesn't get too big for all of us over here in the smaller sites of the world.
No, it's not even that. It's more that I'll always try to make room for you guys and doing Pesi's thing and stuff like that. We go way back, but the more the issue is that all your guys' things are at night, and I do stand up every night, except for now, right?
Yeah, I used to.
It's working out for us.
Yeah, right.
Not so much for you.
Yeah, no, I mean it's been cool to sort of do people's things and stuff like that.
This Corona thing's good for the night shows because no one's got anything going on.
I bet, dude. Yeah, have you guys noticed the numbers better?
Oh yeah. Even Royce was saying his morning show is so much better. Like he's just got a lot more people watching.
Because he's at 10 a.m., so he's not even like a prime time slot. So he's actually I'm sure drawing a lot more than he normally would.
Yeah, there's nothing else going on in the world right now, you know. But shit. Hey, thanks for coming out, everybody watching. Throw a subscription on the channel if you're new. Throw a like on your way out, and I want to say a big thank you to Joy of Pesi and Major Tom for joining me, as well as Mr. Ryan Long. I really appreciate you guys coming on. It truly means a lot to me.
Thanks, buddy. I'm glad we made it happen.
I appreciate you guys.
man.
Okay, so I'm gonna disconnect now. Appreciate it again, and I'll see you guys later.
See you later, buddy.
All right, man.
Okay, peace.
Yeah, thanks again, Joy, for being cool with you know.
Well, like I said, man, like he's a buddy, you know, so it's always happy to.
I knew it. I when he was like Thursday or Friday, I'm like, well, it's Joy on Thursday. Joy knows him. It'll be easier to talk to him with someone that he knows, you know.
Oh, man, hell yeah, I had fun.
And I appreciate you coming on too, Tom. We don't get to see you much because you only do your 1 days of your own stuff, you know.
Yeah, I've like said. Well, I got like adult responsibilities, so it's tougher for me to actually like plan out a whole week would be a nightmare. I can't. But doing Pesi's show and doing mine, like that's enough for me for now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was talking with AP last night, and me and him might. He's like, "Yeah, just bring me an idea. We'll work it out and get together. We might be doing either a weekly or a monthly together." So, because last night was a shit ton of fun. If you didn't get to watch it, you should go back and watch the replay.
Saw that. That was insane.
Dude, him and Royce's little freaking banter with each other was fucking spot on.
Oh yeah, that's tomorrow. The Saved by the Bell beatdown. You got to catch that.
So I'm gonna.
I edited a little intro for that. I can't wait. That's gonna be so fun.
Yeah, and just get them. Did you pull any of the shit of them talking shit to each other?
No, I just made like a little quick like title.
Oh, you should. You should look at the audio from the clip I put up on my channel of them talking shit to each other. They cut a promo on each other.
Dude, don't worry. Someone else did that. You'll see.
Good. I'm glad that they fucking, cause dude, that was so fucking funny. I couldn't, cause I had to lie to AP about who it was, you know.
It's gonna be funny.
Maybe Ryan Long will grow up. What do you mean? Well, I don't want him to grow up. Libby, are you mad? Are you one of his exes? Do we just have one of Ryan's exes pop in the chat? Well, shit, guys. Thanks again for coming in. And then definitely check out Joy of Pesi every Saturday night at 11:45 Eastern, 8:45 Pacific. And then Friday nights, what time are you?
Friday's just after Nightwave. So
Friday, anytime after Nightwave. Skip his show and come watch my show because I do Monday through Fridays after Nightwave. So...
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah. Go watch me, Luck. Don't watch a bunch of us get drunk and make fun of terrible educational videos. Go watch AG. So.
Hey, I got drunk last Friday and made fun of Corona parody songs, and then lost the fucking, and then my stream got taken down. So you know. But yeah, definitely check out Joy's Friday show, and then if you get bored over there, come get bored over here.
You get bored, AG. Come hop on Friday.
Maybe I will. Maybe I'll just fucking we'll all three of us just make that a joint show, and I'll stream it onto my channel, and you can stream it onto your channel.
That would be fun.
I think it would. I think it would benefit all of us to.
I think so too.
I think it would benefit all of us to learn to be abstinent from retired athletes. So.
I'm more interested in the rollerblading. I don't know about you. It's a big up and coming sport.
They say that you rollerblade better when you don't sex. So
that might be true. We'll find that out tomorrow.
Oh shit! You know what movie you should watch is Brink. Remember Brink?
Kind of remember Brink. I have a couple of
dude. If you watch that movie, please bring me on for it. It is it's inline skating. It was done by Disney, and
man, Disney's the one.
It's 98. You might be able to get away with it.
Okay, I'll look into it.
Look into it. It has Sam Horrigan in it, dude, and Eric Von Detten. So
I'll look into it for sure.
Well, shit, guys. Thanks again for coming on, and I look forward to hanging out again soon.
Thanks for having me, buddy.
Oh
Thank
yeah,
you guys.
it's good to be on here.
So what we'll do, what I wanted to do, since I wanted to play this for you guys, and I didn't get the chance to because they timed in super fast and we're on time like they were supposed to be. So I'm gonna run this when they jump in the call with each other and have a smoke, and then I'll come say my goodbyes. And in the I liked Brink. I really loved that movie as a kid. The movie was so fucking terrible though. We're gonna run this. This is the promo for Beatdown. It's a short little promo. I'll let you guys take a listen and it's my content, so fuck fair use, because I can use it however I want. I'm gonna have a smoke while this runs. I'll be right back.
Surprising. As soon as the motherfucker started fucking up and bumbling and stumbling and shit, I knew it had to be failure accomplished. Hey, failure. How you doing there, buddy?
Oh,
you're half right
that
there.
What this is?
You're half right.
Is that what this is, dude? You will fucking want some of this, but Friday, dude, you're going down.
Get it all out, Royce Lopez. You got jealous eyes. Jealous eyes for Miss Bliss. Let me tell you something, Royce Lopez. When I see you Friday beat down, I'm gonna tell you this now, and I'll tell you this Friday, Royce. The sauce you can have. You will have all the sauce. But the secret, she's a mine.
Listen here, brother. I've been watching the college years. I've been watching the specials. While you be out there doing your streams, I'm grinding. Yeah,
Grinding,
that's right,
you
you
say?
cartoon motherfucker. You ain't got shit.
I don't want to hear about your pole dancing. I don't want to hear about you twerking on the laps trying to make the dollars out here so you can get some new gear to take me on in a Saved by the Bell off at beat down on Friday. It's just going to be you and me in that ring. I'm going to beat you up. I'm going to send you back to Valley.
I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you like they killed Slater's lizard. I'm going to fuck you up the way the oil company fucked up that duck, dog.
I'm going to make you think you're Mexican like that chick did to Slater in the college years.
Yeah, well.
Can I point out the one thing that you should be poking at him about AP is the fact that he's holding his phone like he's 40 years old.
Yeah, why are you recording in vertical, Royce? Come on, man. You know better than that.
Okay, there. Is everyone happy now? Shut up.
There.
Right? I wasn't expecting any of this. I'm not my hand on the camera. Listen here, brother. All right? Listen fucking here. Not all of us have cartoon avatars we hide around. I show my face when I beat you at Saved by the Bell. That's
it's a
what
good
I
thing
do.
you did. And it's a good thing you did show your face, Royce Lopez, because I thought that clown from House of a Thousand Corpses was dead. But here it is, and I can see he's clearly okay, and he knows Saved by the Bell trivia. Now, Royce, I respect you as a gentleman of culture, because you did acknowledge that the new class is not canon. But that will not save you. That will not save you.
Oh,
I'm gonna run all over you and then forget you like your name was Stacy Carosi, and then sell you into Scientology slavery.
Oh shit! I'm gonna wreck you like Lisa Turtle's mom's car, motherfucker.
I'm gonna fuck your ass like every authority figure did to Kelly, including her boss at the Max and Professor Lasky during the college years. She was kind of a slut. Did you ever notice that?
You know what? She really was. Really fucking was. I'm gonna break your heart the way Kelly broke Zach's heart when she started dating the manager of the Max. I'm gonna make you disappear like the magician, the Max, in the later season.
I'm gonna make you look more effeminate than Slater in a ballerina outfit. I'm gonna make you look more pathetic than a freshman in high school with a cardboard cutout of his crush under his bed.
I'm really looking forward to this, by the way.
This is gonna be fun.
I can't believe I found somebody else that loves Saved by the Bell as much as I do.
We're out there. It's like My Blue Heaven. You're not alone. But we're all in witness protection. None of us will own up to it unless we find another person like us and we're like, oh shit, like refugees. It's gonna be a good time.
It's like bronies, but like less embarrassing.
A little bit less embarrassing, man. I mean, now that I think about it, I am kind of watching I am bragging about having a lot of knowledge about a show essentially marketed to teenage girls. But it was good. And you know what? I don't think Dustin Diamond's doing anything. Can we get him in on this?
Well, is he doing time for stabbing somebody?
Yeah. He apparently hadn't stabbed anyone in 3 or 4 years. He's touring now. He came to a bar arcade in Houston, and I fucked up and missed out on it.
Oh my God. Well, look, I think you're as heartbroken as I am about the new reboot with the trans person in it. That looks really gay. But Friday, dude. Friday, Irrational Time stream. What is it, 8 p.m.? We're having
8 p.m.
a
your
showdown.
time. That's right. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm
Oh,
going to wipe my ass. Just because you have a nicer house than me doesn't mean you have to show it off, dude. I'm just letting you know right now. Yeah, look at this. Just because he's got nice shit, he wants to fucking be like living in it and stuff.
Royce does have a nice house. I've stayed on his couch, and it's a very comfy couch too.
Yeah, he had to push Marshall off of it.
Oh, now I really hate him.
Push Marsh off the couch thing is so
better
funny.
Than me in everything except for Saved by the Bell knowledge. That's gonna be the saving grace.
Well, I guess we'll see, motherfuckers. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go. I just wanted to say that I'm looking forward to it. Have a good show.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too, man. See you then.
Thanks, brother.
Later, guys. Bye.
Later. So who was the Muslim guy?
Yeah, I don't know. You guys are supposed to have some kind of contest?
Oh, it's going down. I'm boning up for that. I'm actually studying for this shit. Unknown Archive is helping me study. See, Royce doesn't even know about Unknown Archive. That's where he's fucking up. I've got a best buddy who's even nerdier than me with this shit. Like,
yeah,
he's like,
UA is fucking insane when it comes to fucking old TV shows and shit like that.
I went to him earlier and he was like Hacker Man and shit, man, with all his fucking VHS. He's like, so what do you need?
So yeah, if you guys are looking for something good to watch tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, over on Irrational Times' channel, these two will be battling it out in the Saved by the Bell showdown, beatdown, as it were. I'm going to drop the link to that video. Share it out. I have a Rational Times channel linked if you want to check that out. And then let me make sure there's no donos left. And I paused them for the night because I didn't want to.
Now you're banned.
Oh.
And it's a ban. Well, now you're banned.
I didn't want them to overlap with the conversation, since I fucking didn't think of doing that last night with AP, and a lot of donos were coming in. I want to say thank you to my guests, Joy of Pesi and Ryan Long. I really appreciate it. I didn't know Ryan was as big as he is. I do appreciate everyone who hung out. Definitely subscribe on your way out, and I will see you guys again tomorrow night at 9:30ish, depending on when merch gets done. We might even play back some of that Saved by the Bell stuff and see how it goes and who ends up as the winner. Let's play the song for you guys. The song that everyone loves. We'll let you guys have this one for the night. Thanks again for hanging out, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Oh, let me open the chest on D Live. If you're on D Live, I'm dropping the chest for you.
Wait, what? Oh, what? Oh. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. Genuine ostrich. 3 payments. Oh. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. Genuine ostrich. 3 payments. Oh.
Oh shit, no one claimed the chest, so it just rolls over. Anyone in the D Live side, I'm gonna pop it one more time for you guys. Make sure you click that button, or else you're gonna miss out. Or it's just gonna sit there and roll over. I did put an extra 80 in there for you guys.
I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. I'm just goofing.